Making first cut. Golly.
What's going on, YouTube? 18 holes to go at the Charles Schwab Challenge, and that man, Scottie Scheffler, out in the lead. We'll break it all down and look at some live odds. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll jump into it right now. Welcome to the First Cut Podcast. I'm Rick Gehman, joined by Greg DuCharme to break it all down. What's going on, Greg?
What a day, Rick. We got Scottie Scheffler, world number one, sitting on top of the lead, coming off of a missed cut. It's been impressive for him so far, and I can't wait to break it down.
It's Scottie's world. We're just living in it. Here we go again. I mean, it's a two-shot lead with 18 to go for the golfer who's already won 4 times this year. They've been 4 sizable events, including the Masters. He can just do no wrong, Greg.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can to me because he missed the cut the one time I played him and one and done. So yeah, he could do wrong to me last week, but I guess that's my fault, not his. And really, it's been impressive. You look at our model that we look in and week out, and sometimes you get guys in the lead who aren't necessarily hitting it great. They get a really hot putter, they end up in the lead, and it looks really flaky. It doesn't look solid on top. But Scottie leads the field right now in strokes gained tee to green, and it's not really with short game either. Short game's been good, but he's 4th off the tee, 6th approach the green for the week. And if you didn't know where he sat, you'd look at this and say, okay, this is the guy who can win tomorrow. And now you add a 2-shot lead to it, and you say, okay, well, this guy's going to win tomorrow.
He finally, on his 53rd hole of the tournament, made a bogey, Greg. Finally. And then he immediately drains a 31-footer on 18 to get it right back. So that 2-shot lead holds strong. Even when he makes a blemish, he's able to rebound. I'm sure that's a lot of it's a lot of Ted Scott. I'm sure it's a lot of just a memory of a goldfish type of situation for Scottie. I mean, it's impressive that even when you think he might be stumbling, he rights the ship immediately.
Yeah, he has that ability. I mean, it's amazing that he's only made 1 bogey so far this week, and it was on 17 today. It's really quite a streak on this golf course, especially, which 2 of the 3 rounds is played over par to scoring average. So it's not an easy golf course. It's really easy to make bogeys out there. I mean, it's not the most difficult golf course we've played all year by any means. It's not that kind of test, but there's bogeys out there for sure, and he just hasn't found them. So today, on a really difficult day, he was steady on his first 9. He made 9 straight pars, got a couple birdies early in the front 9. And here we are. He shoots 2 under, and it's enough for a 2-shot lead. So I love the resilience. I love the bounce back ability, and I love the through the bag strength of his game.
It really is getting fairly ridiculous how good this season has been, and he's really done it all since February. So if he wins tomorrow, if he wins on Sunday, Greg, he'll have 3,300 FedEx Cup points, which if you look back at last year, that would have been 3rd going into the Tour Championship if he doesn't play another event. And we have 2 major championships. We have the playoff events with the jacked up points. I mean, he has already earned more than Bryson did last year, and Bryson went into the Tour Championship in 3rd.
Wow. That's hard to put it. It's hard to even fathom. It's hard to think about. And I'm very curious. I mean, I'm looking into some player of the year history because it feels like this thing's secured. It feels like it's locked up now with a victory. So I'm working on I was doing a little research today on it. And there have been a couple of occasions since 2000 where the guy who didn't win had 4 wins. 7 times 4 or more wins didn't win player of the year. 7 times, only twice with a major. That was Phil in 2005. Tiger won player of the year. And in 2015, Jason Day and Jordan Spieth won player of the year. And so it's really rare company if somebody were to pass him and win player of the year, but it's getting harder and harder to fathom. 5 wins in a major. But here's the thing that really stands out to me. You have these FedEx Cup playoffs where over, the last 3 years, you've had the winner of the Tour Championship in this new format win player of the year. Right. So, if Justin Thomas wins another major, or if Cam Smith wins another major, one of the other guys with 2 wins wins another major and then wins the FedEx Cup, it could put Scottie in jeopardy. But this record, you look at where he is in total FedEx Cup points, it's incredible. And I really think a win tomorrow locks it up, and it may already be locked up at this point.
Yeah, it would take somebody doing something really special, like a major and the FedEx Cup, or a major and something else, and then who knows? But yes, it's a sizable lead for Scottie Scheffler. Brendan Todd is in the chase pack with Scott Stallings. They are 2 shots back in a tie for second. Brendan Todd shot the rounds of the day, a 65. He was by far the biggest mover. And then Scott Stallings, who you wonder, Greg, carrying over that little Monday momentum, goes out, plays 36, gets himself in the U.S. Open, and says, you know what, I'll just continue playing well all week long.
Yeah, this is the thing about the game of golf. It doesn't really matter what level you're playing at or what it is. Any competitive round can add a lot of confidence to your game. Really, anyone. We see this at the Zurich Classic all the time. Guys come out of the Zurich Classic and you think, well, yeah, but that was a team event. But they found confidence in it because under competition, they executed shots. And that's what Scott Stallings has really been able to do. But I like where Brendan Todd is right now too. It's no surprise he's leading the field in strokes gained putting, which probably is a bad sign for him in the model. But that's why he's here, right? He's a really strong putter. That's why we liked him at the beginning of the week because of his ability on the greens and also his driving accuracy. I mean, today, which was his 65, this was the best round of for him this week. And he hit the fewest number of fairways. He's hit 13, 12, and today he hit 8 fairways. So he's a guy that's going to put it in position a lot, and then he's going to make a lot of putts. It's a way to limit the importance of strokes gained approach. It's not one that you'd like. It's not one you'd like to lean on. But with the guy who putts it the way Brendan Todd does, it puts him in the mix because he's not going to drive it into the trees. He's not going to make a mistake like that. So it's been fun to watch him as well.
Harold Varner III is in solo 4th. He is 3 shots back. He had a very clean, bogey-free 68. That's 2 under par, in which he birdied number 1, and he birdied number 10. That's it. 16 other pars. It's kind of a very clean, visually appealing scorecard when you look at it, Greg.
Yeah, and look, this has been a stretch of great form for him. And I know coming into the week, you were big on him, Rick. And I assume there's a couple of venues coming up where it's probably going to look pretty good for HV3 too, to break through. I don't know what his schedule is going to be, but maybe the Canadian Open would be another good venue for him. There are a couple upcoming. The way he's hitting the ball, I think he is really on the right track to winning this year. The unfortunate thing is, just like it is for Todd and Stallings, it's that Scottie Scheffler's on top. If it was somebody else, I'd really like what I'd like what I'm seeing. I mean, HV3 8th right now, strokes gained tee to green. He's having a good putting week, which is kind of the tipping point for him, like it is with so many other players. Short game's been great. He was 7-7 in scrambling today. So it's nice to see him in contention. He's playing great. I'm not surprised to see him in contention. The disappointment is, yeah, you're 3 back, but it's world number 1. You're 3 back at world number 1. It just carries a different weight.
They're running into the buzzsaw that is Scottie Scheffler, unfortunately, at this moment. I want to take a look at the odds. We're going to do that in just 1 second. But, Greg, a couple of notables, and I think there's a couple here, and they're sitting at 7 under par and 6 under par. Patrick Reed had his worst round of the week, but he's still just 4 back. But I'm even more impressed with Mito Pereira, who, could have easily packed it in this week, Greg, after what happened to him last week. And he did not get off to a very good start this week. He was 2 over through 5. He made bogey at each leg of the horrible horseshoe. He grinds back to make the cut. He shoots a 66 on Friday, a 68 on Saturday. Now he's inside the top 10. This could have been a wash week for him, and no one would have said a word about it.
No, you probably wouldn't even have noticed, right? Most guys wouldn't even have noticed. So it's been impressive. It's just a sign that he's in really good form. And I think you got to understand, if you're Mito Pereira, look, last week was my first weekend of a major championship. I've never played on a Saturday or a Sunday in a major before. It was only my second major. And I went to the last hole with a 1-shot lead. I mean, that is, there are so many positives for him to take away from that. I mean, it's one of his best finishes on the PGA Tour in his career, and you don't look at that. He's clearly not looking at that like heartbreak, right? It hurts and it stings because you want to win, and that's the competitive side of things. But when the sting goes away or settles down a little bit, you can look at it and say, okay, look, this is a good thing. My game's in great shape. And that's exactly what he's showing so far this week. He's got the driver on a string again, just like he did at the PGA, second off the tee this week, 13th tee to green. And he's doing what he had a great putting day today, which tends to be his weakness. So lots of positives for Mito Pereira to take away. And, I'm not surprised. Maybe this has been a little better. And I like the bounce back after the 3 bogeys in a row on Thursday, but he's just such a good player. I think this is going to become a lot more normal for him.
Yeah, I hope so.
And then Patrick Reed, what do you think of P. Reed?
Did I see that he ditched the PXG driver? Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
Have we confirmed that this is the first week he's done that?
I don't know if that's the first week. I wasn't able to confirm that, but there was definitely something.
Yeah, he's driving it much better, Greg.
Yeah, but he had a few. I mean, he lost strokes off the tee at the PGA Championship, but in the 4 weeks before that, he gained strokes off the tee. So he had this little trend, and I really like Patrick Reed this week because he saw that trend off the tee kind of getting a little better, and then he had a great at the PGA. He had his irons great, which was, I mean, those two things were so bad. It was since like the 3M Open of last year. It might not be exactly this way, but basically since July of last year, he lost strokes off the tee and approached the green in every event.
Yeah, I've declared him washed up, but if he's going to change equipment and play better, and like, I don't think he's going to win at Brookline, but a place like Brookline where everyone's going to be playing from greenside might not be a bad spot for him.
No, I don't think he's washed up at all. I think he might be back. I know today he didn't hit his irons nearly as well today, which was a little disappointing, but again, it's not surprising to me. And this was a disappointing round of 1 over for him, but I'm thinking he's going to show up tomorrow and play great, put himself in contention. Again, Scottie's leading the way, so I don't know what kind of chance he leaves him, but I'm big on Patrick Reed. I think there's really something there.
All right, well, we'll take a look at the odds board and we'll find Patrick Reed's name, but first we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our partners. And we're back. Here's the odds board. Greg, let me pull this up for you. I don't have producer Jacob here. There we go. Okay, Scottie Scheffler, no surprise, the favorite to win the Charles Schwab Challenge. He is minus 140. Sizable gap to Brendan Todd at 7-1, Scott Stallings at 9-1, Harold Varner III at 10-1, and then another sizable gap to that man, Patrick Reed, at 22-1. What do you see here, Greg?
Well, Patrick Reed, 4-back, proven winner on the PGA Tour, aside from Scottie. Now, Scottie's in control of this thing, right? We know, like, he's probably going to win this tournament tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Brendan Todd, I love him. I loved him going into the week. I expect a good finish, but I think there's a little too much weight leaning on the putter. And so I don't love that number for a guy that's leaning on the putter the way he is. Scott Stallings is interesting. Again, don't love it. The first guy I really like is Patrick Reed, and it would take a crazy round. I don't mind Chris Kirk, who's won here. And then you get into some longer shots, and Bo Hostler looked hurt. So he's out to me. Jordan, I think he's too far back, right? He's at 5.
He's going to have to shoot a 62.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to have to shoot a 62 and then probably needs Scottie to struggle a little bit.
Yeah. Jordan's too far back.
He's too far back. What do you think of like a Davis Riley? He's probably too far back too.
Yeah, I like this. I like these 3 right here. So I think they're all at 7 under. Davis, Kirk, Reed. That's only 4 back. Listen, Scottie Scheffler's probably going to win this golf tournament. You're probably going to have to get a little from Scottie. Scottie's going to have to shoot a 71 or something like that to allow somebody in the mix. But obviously different conditions, but we've seen Patrick Reed shoot 66 twice this week. Cam Davis is like a freak of nature. Okay. He is so athletic and has so much upside. I would not be surprised to see him fill it up for a single day. Chris Kirk, who I like for next week as well. I just love the streak we're in for Chris Kirk. So
love it.
I think Scottie probably wins this. If you made me make a bet tonight, I would live right here. Reed at 22, Kirk at 22, Cam Davis 35. That's the range I want to be in.
Yeah, I agree. And again, Kirk and Reed were two guys I liked at the beginning of the week. So are you big in, hey, if you had a guy at the beginning of the week and they're in the mix, stick with it? Or are you okay at round 3? Does that not matter to you?
I think it all kind of depends, unfortunately. There's so many other, I've got this 50-1 Harold Varner ticket. Now I'm wow, that's great value, but it's probably going to be worth the same tomorrow night. 0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
same as if you missed the cut.
Exactly.
Well, I guess the reason I like doing that, sticking with guys that you like at the beginning of the week is usually the reason you liked them at the beginning of the week is what they're doing. Correct. So Brendan Todd, I talked about this earlier. He's driving it really accurately and he's making a lot of putts. Though that's what I expected him to do. That's why I expected him to contend. He's doing that. So he's in contention. That's great. I just don't see him beating Scottie. But then you go down to Chris Kirk and he's doing exactly what we expected. So I love it. Patrick Reed, bad day today, but it seems like the ball striking comeback is something real. So great to be early on him in DFS. But is there enough there to actually win the golf tournament? But I think you're onto it with Cam Davis, Chris Kirk, and Patrick Reed. 2 of those guys have won often on the PGA Tour. Cam Davis has won once. So I like that more than the HV3, the Brendan Todd, who has won, but it's been a while.
And you're getting incentivized because Scottie is the leader. I mean, those are long odds. 22-1 and 35-1 are long
right
odds. So you're getting sufficient compensation for the risk that you're taking on.
Exactly. And that's like Brendan Todd won twice 2 years ago, right? 19, it was 19 or something.
Back, I can't remember. That's the time frame that I don't know what year anything was.
Yeah.
Because it all just ran together, but he won back-to-back starts.
I think it was the fall of 19. And he almost won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So I love, I mean, but you don't get that value on him, right? Because he's at 7-1. Yeah. So you lose a little bit of that value. The other guys, winners, a little bit better numbers on it, but it's tough when you have somebody like this leading the way. It's tough. You just, the best piece of advice I can give is go back in time and get in on Scottie on Wednesday.
Yeah. You just, you bet somebody at 35-1. You hope Scottie shoots 2 over or something.
Yeah. Right. I agree.
All right. Greg DuCharme can be found on Twitter at @TheRealGFD. You can find me at Rick Run Good. This has been The First Cut, and we'll catch you tomorrow night.